Hello guys, so welcome to another great session with Sokatina. Yes, so today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic which happens to be epistemology, one of the branches of philosophy. Right, so today I'm going to talk about epistemology. I'll be right back. Guys, so welcome back. Like I said earlier, today I'm going to talk about epistemology, which happens to be one of the branches of philosophy, right? So it is a very interesting and educating topic. Stay with me, don't go anywhere. So epistemology happens to be one of the branches of philosophy that talks about the nature of knowledge, justification, and the rationality of belief. It is derived from two Greek words, episteme, which means knowledge, and logos, which means reason. So basically, this field of study is associated with the theory of knowledge. So one can say that epistemology is a theory of knowledge. Epistemology has its history from the Western philosophy, beginning from the ancient philosophy down to present time, alongside with metaphysics, ethics, and logic. Epistemology is one of the branches of philosophy which most of the great philosophers has contributed a lot to. So a question will come, why should there be epistemology as a discipline to start with? Aristotle happens to answer this question when he said that philosophy starts with a somewhat of wonder and imprisonment. So people begin to wonder or know the kind of life they believe in, the external world, if there is any other world outside this very world that we live in. So this is the kind of question that epistemology happens to answer, the howness of things. That is, it happens to express the how question. How can we know that this thing is true? How can we know that our reasons are not deceiving us? How can we know that experience is not deceptive? How can we know that knowledge of a particular thing is true or false? How can we know that faith precedes reason? So these are the questions that epistemologists tend to address, right? So there are some sources of knowledge that we are going to be discussing here. We have reason as a source of knowledge. In this, we have some group of philosophers who are called the rationalists. So the rationalists believe that knowledge of a particular thing is innate, that is, we are born with knowledge of a particular thing. We don't know anything by experience. The knowledge is innate. So this kind of people, or this set of people, they are dogmatics, because anywhere, anytime, their knowledge or their answer to a particular question remains the same. For example, we say 1 plus 1 is 2. So go anywhere around the world, 1 plus 1 is 2. So these people, they don't think outside the box. They are dogmatic because they don't change their belief system. Whatever they feel that this is the answer over the years happens to be the answer for so long as they wish to. So we cannot really counter the knowledge of the rationality, because the knowledge of that particular thing has been there for so long. Take for example 1 plus 1. Everyone knows that 1 plus 1 is 2. So these are rationality. One of the limitations of their knowledge is that how can you really justify that 1 plus 1 is 2? What is your reason for saying that 1 plus 1 is 2? What is the rationale behind this? So these people cannot really give us the answer about it. So another sources of knowledge is sense experience. That is the empiricists. They believe that knowledge of a particular thing is known through the senses. That is, we experience something before we know it is. These are called the Thomas. Yes, so we can't know that this thing is true until we experience it. You cannot tell me that it is raining out there and I just believe that yeah, it is raining. I have to go out to find out that it is actually raining. This set of people, they are called the empiricists because They believe that the knowledge of a particular thing can be known through the senses. So you cannot just tell me that a knowledge of a particular thing is innate, you were born with this. No, these people believe that for you to know something, you have actually experienced that thing, you have come in contact with that. So that is what they term knowledge. You cannot tell the empiricists that 1 + 1 is 2 and you will just believe it. You will tell you that you have to explain in details how you know that 1 + 1 is actually 2. So until they experience a particular thing, they cannot term that knowledge. So that is basically the empiricists for you. So we have some empiricist philosophers, people like John Berkeley, John Locke, David Hume, and so on and so on. And we have irrationalists like Paris Spinoza, we have René Descartes, and so on and so on. So we have another source of knowledge, which is the intuition. According to the intuition is a kind of knowledge that we get by sudden awareness, like it just comes to you. You're not really planning it, or you don't even notice when this happens with you. So when they ask you, how did you know this is, you don't know how to explain it. For example, the room is dark and they show a ball in that very room and you just close your eyes since it's dark, because this happens a lot. Just happen to pick the ball from somebody, ask you, how come you know that this ball is here? Why everywhere is dark? You'll be like, I don't know, I just get the ball. So the intuitive knowledge cannot really be explained, because when they ask you, how did you know that this particular ball is here, for you to pick it, you'll be like, I don't know, I just. So this is one of the limitations of the intuition as a source of knowledge, because the knowledge of the intuition cannot be explained. Another source of knowledge that I will mention is authority. Is the kind of, you pay attention, that is, it pay allegiance to the authority because we feel that they know this and we should trust them, right? So we feel that like our lecturers, they know better. So everything they tell you, you feel like, yeah, these people are authority in this particular field, so I should take this from them because it must be true. So this is a source of knowledge also, but there are some limitations of this, because it's not every authority that we should trust when it comes to knowledge. Some might be deceptive, like what they told you about a particular thing might not really be what it is. So this is one of the limitations of authority as a source of knowledge, that is trying to know from a specialist or someone you trust to be an expert in a particular field. So another source of knowledge is myths, or should I say mysticism. This is extra ordinary perception. You feel like knowledge is by supernatural, fortune tellers, and so on and so on. These people also, they don't really know the source of their knowledge. They just feel like they know this. They cannot really explain, this is how I know this. For example, if a fortune teller should tell you that your future is bright, you'll be like, how do you know? No way, he or she cannot really explain how he or she knows that your future is bright, or someone is about to attack you, or one or two things. So this is one of the limitations of mysticism when it comes to knowledge. So the last one I will have to mention before I go is faith and revelation. This is conversant with the religion aspect, because they make claims to faith, they make reference to the Bible told us, and all of that. So, but one of the limitations of this is also they cannot really explain the source of their knowledge. When you ask it, they'll be like, God is written in the Bible, all of that. So these are sources of knowledge, and all do have their own limitation, because you can see in some places sources of knowledge cannot really explain them. Another aspect I really want to talk about is faith and knowledge. I mean, when we talk about faith and knowledge, faith is personal conviction, it's personal, but knowledge is universal. When we say we know, it should be universal, like everybody will have to know that this, like when we say 1 + 1 is 2, you can see that this knowledge is universal. Everyone knows that 1 + 1 is 2, right? So these are the things that epistemology as a field of study talks about. So in trying to know the external world, we notice that fiction plays tricks on us, that is experience, because what you feel like this is real is not really what it is. For example, a stress stick, when you put it inside the water, it becomes bent. So how can you know that it is that same stress stick that you put it inside the water, that the shape automatically change. So you can also see that whenever you are traveling, when you look far, that is in an express road, you will see that a pool of water ahead of you, but when you get there, you see that there is nothing there. So in trying to know the external world, you see that vision alone or the sense organs are not enough to actually give us more information about the world, because the senses itself are deceptive, because they're not really present things the way it is. Like the instances I just gave, a stress stick, when you put it inside the water, it becomes burnt, and when you're traveling on an express road, you find out there's a pool of water ahead of you, but when you get there, you will not see anything. So vision is deceptive. So someone asks, which of these sources of knowledge should we give priority to? Let's say, should we give reason priority? Should we give the senses priorities? I mean, this is a question that is very, very hard to answer, because the senses alone cannot give us knowledge, and the reason alone cannot also give us knowledge. So in answering this question, because this question is tricky, so you have to sit down and think about it, because reason itself is also limited. It has limitations. Intuition it has limitations. Faith and revelation has limitations. I mean, all the sources of knowledge has limitations. So how can we actually know? So this is the question that philosophers ask. Like I said earlier, I said that philosophy, according to Aristotle, started with wonder and puzzlement. You start wondering how, what I mean, these are questions that philosophers ask, and epistemologists too, in trying to know the external world and to understand the world that we live in. So if you find this video interesting, if you find this understanding and interesting, knowledgeable, I endorse you to click on the subscribe button and then hit on the notification bell, so you can get every of my weekly videos anytime I post them. Thank you very much for staying with me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video come up next Sunday.